If I wanted America to fail, to follow, not lead, to suffer, not prosper, to despair, not dream, I'd start with energy. And they did. The Keystone Pipeline, the war on coal, endless environmental lawsuits aimed at expanding federal power. They sure started with energy, but they didn't stop there.
I said this once or twice, but it bears repeating. You can keep your plan if you are satisfied with it. If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. If you like your plan and you like your doctor, you won't have to do a thing. You keep your plan. You like your current insurance, you keep that insurance. Period.
Many Americans didn't get to keep their plan or their doctor. And as federal tentacles snake their way deeper into America's $2.5 trillion healthcare sector, many politicians voted to spare themselves the pain of their own policies. Policies they insisted would be good for the masses. Those politicians need a lesson in civics because we are not the masses. In this country, we've never been, nor have we ever considered ourselves the proletariat, the herd, or the hoi polloi, the mob or the common folk, the rabble or the riffraff. No, for 237 years, we, the American people, have not been subjects. We have been sovereign. We remain sovereign. And every 2 years on Election Day, we exercise our powers as sovereign. Our leaders in Washington would do well to remember that fact, particularly as they determine the power of federal bureaucracies. I'd make cheap energy expensive, so that expensive energy would seem cheap. You see, environmentalists don't use force. They don't need to. They don't even need lawmakers anymore. Instead, they use lawsuits to short-circuit the rule of law and expand bureaucratic control over things like residential wood burning, as in the kind that heats millions of homes in the winter. Many rural families may be forced to spend thousands to comply with new regulations if they can afford to comply at all. I would empower unelected bureaucrats to all but outlaw America's most abundant sources of energy. Welcome to Alabama, red state. For months, environmental interests have been waging a campaign here to kill coal. Of course, they can't say that to the conservative voters of Alabama. So instead, environmental front groups are pretending to care about the cost of electricity. It's a joke. And their money betrays their true intentions. New reports reveal that San Francisco-based environmental interests are funneling millions to the very Alabama front groups now seeking to hijack the state's Public Service Commission. Millions flowing from California to radical environmental groups in Alabama, all part of a backdoor effort to bring down the free market in the very heart of a conservative stronghold. Don't let them get away with it, Alabama. Whether they serve in Congress in Washington, work at a federal agency, or sit on the Public Service Commission in Alabama, our public officials were not empowered to negotiate the slow surrender of our freedoms. And the cause of energy independence is the cause of freedom. Let not our children say that this cause was quietly forsaken by those who profess to lead it. Let not history say that we deserted our principles when they were most in need of a vigorous defense. Let it be said that we saw things clearly, even when it was difficult, that we stood up, spoke out, and fought back.